The microphone is on and the bow thrusters are at full, keeping us steady in the lava stream. Welcome everyone, glad to have you all on board today. And of course, I'm your host, DrFox2000, and this is VolcanoX, a live stream. Hi Capson, I hear you. Oh boy, I think somebody's been into the room, eh, Sue? Arr. Yes, it's a lava boat. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. It is not a bad day, and not yet. That's awesome, Sue. No worries. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board. And yes, it is September the 9th today, and yep, you see canned lava for a reason. Monk pays the bouncer at the door. Wow, I'm surprised that you noticed him, Irish monk. He was sitting very, very quietly, just melting, and oh, hang on, that might give it away as to who that is. But no worries. Thank you kindly for that wonderful super chat, and that is awesome. You're a kind man. All right, injured but kind. I hope your leg is doing better. Anyway, yeah, awesome, you guys. So yeah, Friday, the 9th of September 2020. And not too much going on. The lava boat trying to hold it steady there in the lava stream, but I think we'll let that vanish just like that. So no worries. The stuff on screen, of course, recorded on August 6th. There we go. Got it out. Missing teeth. It's hard to do when you got no front teeth. Anyway. Let's see. Anyway, first one in today was Tom, and I didn't see Pepper in there at all, so Tom gets the cookies, and there we go, and that's good. And we'll get to saying hello to everyone in a minute. Welcome to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, Joseph Fields Official, and possibly Gary, 24/7 Alive, AZ Skies in the background, and others out there. We have a few more. But anyway, we'll do that, and that is also just one of those things. Sometimes we have more mods, other times we don't. Like Lucas is taking time off and stuff, and hey, everybody needs a break now and again, you know. So that's kind of where that's at, and we don't have any worries about that. Anyway, quiet day today for the most part. Well, actually not too quiet, but for what we've seen, it's relatively quiet volcano-wise. And haven't seen too much. Actually, was kind of preoccupied with a few other things, but also caught the new King's speech there. So she is standing on my lap right now, Doc, and share cookies will with all. Okay, excellent, Tom. Anyway, did watch King Charles III with his acceptance speech, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's his little speech there, and I think it was rather touching. So just thought I'd throw that in. It was good, and hopefully things will progress and smooth out over there, and everyone will get back to a sense of normality. I know it's going to take a little bit, so yes, Kirst, it was a nice speech, and very honorable, and very fitting. So I thought it was good. So anyway, that's all cool. We'll leave that aside for now, but get back to our modus operandi, or volcanoes, if you will. Noble poet Seamus Hanley. Okay, be advised, my passport's green. No glass of ours was ever raised to toast the Queen. Okay. All right. I don't know whose that is, but okay, never mind. I'm going to not worry about that. Like I said, let's get back to volcanoes and work on that. So, of course, lava on screen from the 6th of August. And since we're talking about Iceland right off the bat, let's get rid of the banner and such. And we'll stop this guy, and we'll actually slide back during the day. This is what it looks like there right at this very moment. And if we go back a bunch of hours, we see how spooky it looked. And it did indeed look spooky. So let's leave it there for the time being, while we go say hello to all the good people in here. And that was Iceland at about 6:37 in the evening, and it was really, really awesome and steamy and scary and all that nice stuff. You'd expect a dinosaur to walk out somewhere. Really, when you've seen that kind of a scene, it would really kind of be fitting, if you will. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board. So let's start with saying hi to Trevor and Hermione and Linda Schoof and Kate and Sue and Irish Monk is here. Linda is, did I say Linda Schoof? Linda is here. Trevor, what happened to our wonky donkey? Anyway, that's okay, never mind. Tom Dice, of course, got the cookies. And let's see, and going up, Kirst is here. Jojo made it back in, welcome. Going up a little bit more, Neil, welcome back. Judy L is also in the house. Good to have you here. And going up a little bit more, we got Sue Hayes already, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I should say Sue Hayes. Okay, Judy L we got. All right, going up. Sarah Miles is here, laughing at my lava boat. Well, she wasn't laughing, but it's my lava boat. I figured I might as well, since we got lava rivers, why not have a lava boat? And going up some more, looking for more wonderful names. And boy, oh boy, it looks like a chatty bunch, and that was in here. I like it. Going up more and more and more, looking for others, and not seeing too many other names in here. Tetra is in the house. Welcome, Tetra. Glad to have you on board. And going up a little bit more, Joseph and Michael, welcome. And Jan Arts is also here, welcome. And going up a little bit more, looking for more wonderful names. Did I say Henry Nelson? I think I might have. What about that Tom guy? I think I might have seen him before too. And I'm up as far as I can get, and I don't see. Oh, Kevin Williams, I didn't mention him, so there we go. Paul Williams also in here now, and Cara Anna, I don't know if I said it right, but welcome. And let's see, did I miss anybody else sneaking in? I think we're pretty good with names, so that's good for now. Oh, Sasha just got in here as well. Yep, frames were dropped and it reconnected. So give it a second or two, and looks like it's back to where it should be. And hopefully it will keep going. So if it was buffering for a second, It should be back now. I see it's right back to where it should be. And looking at the other one, a little bit of a up and down in the bit rate here for some reason all of a sudden. Not sure why, but it looks pretty good here. Okay, so anyway, as we look at the scene, you know, it's kind of scary, hokey, or spooky, wooky, whatever you want to call it. And that, of course, is what Iceland was looking like. It was raining. For a while, we did have a little bit better view. This is at about 5 p.m. You can see that there is water on the camera lens. So that's kind of what made it look a little weirdish. This was without water on the camera lens. That looked a little clearer, and that was not bad. Now, the one area you don't see smoke or steam or anything coming from is from the crater, and that is unfortunate. And we really hope that we do see some in the near future. So that, unfortunately, nothing coming out of there. Wish it was. Wish it was. And yeah, it is, like I said, this is kind of a scene where you expect to see a dinosaur walking along in the background somewhere, trucking up the hill here or something. So looks bleak. Yep. Bleak and without things, treeless, and I want palm trees. Let's grow some palm trees. It's eerie. Yep, that too. So definitely agree with those comments. And just checking my bit rate here, still holding pretty steady, so we should be all right now. Okay, I will look nice with snow. Well, the problem is the snow won't stick for a while. That lava is way too hot. So, you know, even in a couple of months, I don't think we're going to see too much snow sticking on the lava in the lava field until it cools off. And you know, I'd give that 4 or 5 months at least before that will get down to a temperature where that snow won't melt anymore. But hey, again, it depends on how much snow we actually get there. So that is something interesting. But speaking of Iceland, Yvonne Kunkel will be going there in less than... let's see, her flight is at 1 p.m. German time. So, yeah, she's, I think, 8 hours from now. She'll be over there, if I'm right, roughly. And she'll be, or on the way to Iceland anyway, and then she's got a 4-hour flight, right? So that is what we look at. So she may be able to make it for our stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. What it took 37 years for Eldfeld to return to ambient temperature. 37 years. Wow. For Eldfeld. That's a long time, Irish monk. And you were out there taking a temperature every day or what? Just curious. But 37 years is a long time, definitely. And I'm sure over in Geldingadarle, you know, beside, to the west of Ragnar, I guarantee you that temperature in there is still quite hot. Especially now, since it's probably got a little bit of a reheat from what was going on. But anyway, let's leave this be here for a minute, and we'll pop over to the harmonic tremor chart and take a look and see what it is doing. And you'll have to excuse me for some of this. I had to reboot my computer, so everything is in different locations again. And makes life a little bit more interesting. So anyway, we do see some interesting quakes in here. I see the green is way up on top of this particular jump here, and we are seeing a general upward trend right now, and that is a good sign, and let's hope it continues to go upward, and that is something that we really do want to see. So hopefully we'll get that happening. 1973 eruption took 37 years to cool down. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So 2010, something like that, I would say. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Up and away. Yep, we're hoping that we are going to see some upward movement here now that all these shakers and quakers are doing their thing in the northern portions of the country, and that is of course our next little thing that we want to look at. So let me get over to the earthquakes, and then we'll have a peek and see what we can find. And let's start out on this map first, I guess. Well, maybe we can start on the other one, but we do see what's going on up north here. And of course, out in some of these, we do see some quakes now a little bit further here to the west, which is kind of interesting. Most of these were on the eastern side, so the rumblings do continue, and it is amazing to see how many quakes there are in that one area. And you know, you'd swear that there has to be an eruption happening. But that is just a tremendous amount of earthquakes for one zone. And when you look at these are, you know, there's just loads and loads that are 3.6 in here, or thereabouts 3.8. I mean, we do have 3.5, 3.2, 3.0s, 3.4s. It doesn't matter where you look, they are all at very interesting sizes and a lot of material. Some of them, and we'll just take a few samples here. This one from 1319, 12.5 kilometers down. This 3.6 here, 14.9 kilometers down from 1144. 3.0 over here, 11 kilometers down from 1500. As an example, here's another one. This one a little bit more shallow, at 5:53 a.m. and 4 kilometers down on that guy. So all kinds of different values to these. 14.3 kilometers down for 1425 was the time on that magnitude 3. The 4.1 right here was 7 kilometers down from 7:18 a.m. You know, it gives you a pretty good idea that they're all over the place depth-wise. This one is a little deeper, 15.3 kilometers down, and 2:57 a.m. for that point, or 3.5. I actually want to see that one that's way out in the other side here. Where are you? I know you're out here somewhere. There you are. Okay. Whoa. Can we even get to it? That is the question. Let's see. It may not allow us to. Oh, we might be able to make it. A 4.2. And no, it won't let us go see it. Darn it. And that is a part of the thing. It's too far out, and when you click on it, if you scroll in too far, you lose it real quick. Anyway, that's where it is there. 4.2 though. Let's use the other map. There it is, 4.2, and that is at the top of that one as well. 5.2 kilometers down, and that happened at 14:02. Now, looking at the other map, as I said, there was a bunch over on this side, another 4.2, 7.6 kilometers down from 2024. And then we had a 4.6, 5.4 kilometers down from 1407. This 2.8, 5.2 kilometers down from 2118, so that's very recent. And also the 3.0 here, 5.2 kilometers down, so they're all about the same depth. And 1612 for this guy, and those are fairly new. So this 4.2 is very new, and of course this is set for the last 12 hours only. And in the last 12 hours we've had 1156 earthquakes in Iceland. If we go take a look at the total for the last 24 hours, that will give you a little bit of a better idea there. 2,124 listed on the map, so that's what we're seeing. That is a lot of earthquakes, you guys, for one little area, and hopefully that they'll figure out what's going on. And I don't know if it's really a matter of what's going on. It's just we know there's a massive tectonic movement, and that is kind of the interesting part about this. This being on the northern part of the ridge, and I was doing a little bit of trying to figure out what the heck is actually moving, which plate is moving, and that only led to more confusion for me. Welcome, Mona Alfano. Glad to have you on board. Grandma B, what's water? The gray stuff here is water, the gray stuff. And the black stuff is the land. And of course the colored splotches here are the earthquakes, and what they feel they kind of covered, or just their sizing. But yeah, water is the gray stuff, black is the land. And if we go here, then you can better see what it looks like. And there's also more quakes over here, 2.4 on that side, 5.3 kilometers down as well. That was from 1522. So definitely some stuff going on there. If we go into our area, we don't see anything happening, no quakes at all in the last 12 hours. If we go to the last 24 hours, we only see this one, and that is a 0.74, 4.2 kilometers down, and that was from 5:15 a.m. Hopefully we'll see some more action there, but right now I'm not liking the fact that we don't see anything here at all. And we really need more quakes, and we need tremors to show us lava movement, and that's what we want. I just want to check the depths on these. 1.12 is the size from 3 minutes after midnight, 6.2 kilometers down. This guy 0.75, 6.7 kilometers down 12 minutes after midnight. This one 7 minutes after midnight. What the heck? Somebody took their turned their their carriage into a pumpkin, I think. This one 6 minutes after midnight, 1 and 6.5 kilometers down. So those are fairly deep right there. That is interesting, but that's really not going to make much of a difference for us as far as seeing our volcano come back to life. If we go and put this back on the 12-hour mark, of course there has been no activity, and that is kind of what we've got going. And it is what it is. Not much we can fix up or do. It's just wait it out and see what happens. And hopefully we'll see an eruption somewhere. And that'll be awesome. And hopefully it's in a place where nobody's going to get hurt. We don't want that. Anyway, a couple other quakes, and just to have a quick peek around down here by Kilauea from 2211. We had a 0.9, 4.4 kilometers down. This other one I can't pronounce, of course, and 1846 is the time on that 1.0, 3.1 kilometers down. Moving up a little bit, we see a 1.6, 2.4 kilometers down from 2026. And moving, there's Grimsvatn, and of course this is 1541 is the time on that guy, 1.1, and it is 1.6 kilometers down. So very interesting on that guy. Quick peek around Astra. We do see a 1.7 over here from 2100, 5.2 kilometers down. I'm more interested in these right here. 0.8, 7.9 kilometers down, 2213, and 0.8, 8.6 kilometers down from 52. Then we have a 1.0, 7.8 kilometers down from 1400, and gives you a pretty good idea of what those guys are doing. The other southern side of Astra, of course, we see this 0.9, 9.7 kilometers down from 1527. And sliding up a little bit more, that's when we get back into the mess. And there are just lots and lots and lots of quakes in here. It's just incredible. Some of the ones that are a little bit more interesting are ones like this, from 1334, 3.1, and that is only 1.1 kilometers down. So makes a guy wonder what's going on there. Here's another 3 in here, and let's just see. That one is 5.3 kilometers down from 1355. There we go. And makes a guy wonder what the heck is going on. This 2.7 here from 2031 is only 1.1 kilometer down. So is it possible that we are going to get another eruption in this area? I'm going to say yes, it's possible. Will it happen? We're unsure. But if this persists, then we will, in all likelihood, see something. And that is, it can't go on forever. So, and that is kind of what we're hoping for, is to see something happen, even if it is a submarine eruption, and keeps going for a little while. It should make a surface in not too long, because that water really isn't all that deep right there. And I don't know if we can tell on these other ones here what kind of depth we have. We might have to use some of the other maps. Let's use this one here, get over there real quick, and zoom in, and of course there you can see the mid-Atlantic ridge going right through it, through Iceland, and then up the northern side there, and you see the other quakes that were along there. By the way, when I was saying I was looking at things, trying to figure out what the heck is moving, and it is really, really tough to try to tell, but when you follow that ridge up, we know that that ridge is actually this line here. So it, because it's a round globe on a flat surface, we see this quake over here, 5.2 over in Oka, Russia. And I'm wondering if that Russian plate is twisting a little bit, because that would explain it. I think what we may be seeing is the Russian plate moving, the top of it moving eastward, and the bottom is probably swinging to the west a little bit. Don't know exactly how much it is actually moving, but that would be what I would guess at, looking at where the quakes are and what's happening. So no guarantees. By the way, thank you, Kate, for the 5-minute warning about a minute ago. I got it. Anyway, that is kind of interesting to me. I'm I'm dying to find out what's going to happen in the future, you guys, and that is always one of those things. Anyway, 5 minutes to go, or 3 minutes to go. Let's pop over to other places real quick. Actually, I want to see if Sakurajima is still throwing a bunch of material out. It was popping pretty good earlier there. Ice cream boat is in, by the way, if you need to go get your ice cream. And you can see it right there, so that's all good. And it looks like Sakurajima has calmed down just a little bit. And let me switch the view here and look at it. Yep, it definitely has. In comparison to what it was doing before, it certainly has calmed down a bunch, right? Galactic volcanoes. I will be streaming Fragor del Fiel. When you're going to be streaming that galactic volcano? Just curious. And now, just want to throw out there, Yvonne Kunkel will be out there in about, well, she'll be in Iceland in about, well, she leaves in 8 hours, be there in 12 hours, I guess, something like that. And then she's going to have a talk with the lava workers. I hope that would be awesome. Anyway, Sakurajima not doing that much, but the ice cream boat still in there. Looks like they're taking off now. So the other one will come in soon. And is it just one? Yeah, it's just one sitting there. No, they're not taking off. I think they might have just got there and docked. So pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, Piggy is here. Yay, Piggy, welcome. And Kate just gave you a cart and some crayons. Welcome, Piggy, and glad to have you on board. And let's see, we'll undo that. Normal thing, the normal thing, and there we go. Okay, all right, closing of that, and just received an email, and okay, yeah. All right, I got that, and yeah, if we see it, we know what to do with it, right? Anyway, that's all good. Okay, anyway, getting pretty close to break here, so I think I am going to get ready for that break. Hey, welcome our wonderful LOL Gemma the Super Kitty. Glad to have you on board, and good evening to Claire and Dave. So hopefully you'll enjoy the show. All right, I think it is just about time to go for my break, though. So I'm going to put you back onto the. Oh, hang on, Sakurajima is doing things again. I'm going to leave it here, because that is popping more stuff out again. Gonna turn that banner off though. That is live, and that is Sakurajima in Japan throwing out a bunch more stuff. So we've got what we've got. But for now, for those good people who are here, please help us out. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. And also, if you're new, you want to get into the chat, by all means do hit the subscribe button, and it'll take a minute to get back in there. Star Walker, a bunch of stuff being thrown. Yep, kitchen sinks and things like that. Whatever the lava workers have down there, they throw it out, and it turns into dust or stuff. Anyway, gonna leave it here for you guys, and I am going to go take that 5-minute break. So keep smiling, be good, and we'll be back in a little bit. There we go. I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'm back in 5. Thanks. Yeah, she lost her own street cred. Don't blame me for that, Piggy. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. See a couple more new people popped in there, but Al Sanchez, welcome. Kate, welcome. And let's see, we got Neil. But thank you, guys, for the welcome backs from Mona and Piggy and let's see, Paul Williams, Sue Hayes, One Fish 26, welcome, and Neil, of course, and Jojo and Al and Dave and Claire and Kate and holy mackerel, everybody. Okay, and yeah, wants volcanoes? Well, we are looking at volcanoes. Unfortunately, we don't have any heavy-duty action on the volcanoes. Only some of them are spitting out a little bit of dust now and again, and I'm hoping for a lava. Anyway, let's carry on with our show here, and of course, the next place that we want to go is the Azores, and of course, you see in the foreground here the harbor and part of the town. You can see the lights of Pico Island off in the distance. Looks a little hazy there. For those who are not familiar with this scene, we'll throw on, I had to redo things, so hang on, copy, remove, paste there, and that is what it normally looks like during the daytime. Just so you have an idea, that strait is about 18 kilometers across over to the other island. What? I am having a first world meltdown. Irish monk, I'm not sure what you're using. Are you using a phone or a computer? I have no idea. Anyway, I can't do anything about it. I don't know why it's not working, and what the deal is. So did your membership expire? Just wondering. You paid for enough of them yesterday or day before. You should automatically get renewed, I would think. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, I am curious, how did you get into amateur geology in the first place? Did you start as a young boy? Yes, actually I did, Maria. And I did start out very, very young. When I was 4 and 5 years old, I used to go down to the little creek / river that we had. And I did started picking up fossils. Back then, there were a lot of fossils and small stones and stuff, and everything from bugs to you name it. And this, of course, was back in Germany, and I really enjoyed doing that. And that had the thing about being down at a river, being able to see things. So that's kind of what got me involved with all of it. It's geology, paleontology, if you want, and it's a neat thing. And I like fossils. I like looking at old rocks and how did things form. At one point in this planet, everything was molten, and how did everything form, and we get different types of rocks and that kind of stuff. That was always fascinating to me. Anyway, so we are on the island of St. George, and like I said, Pico Island across the strait there, 18 kilometers across. But let's look at our little cove that we always look at, and that is right here. And what we're looking for here is the amount of white water that we see down on the bottom. And it's actually not as bad as yesterday, but there are still some waves breaking right out there. So that is still fairly rough water for these guys. and that's kind of what we're seeing. Let's take a peek here at the earthquakes they've had today. And I'm trying to find the right thing that I had. No, that's not that thing. This is the one. There we go. Make it bigger, he says, and I did. And we got to turn that one off. There we go. Two quakes showing up in the on Sao George today, and I just saw 1.6 from 7:26 a.m. and then we have a 1.5 from 9:17 a.m. and that is both in those same locations right on Sao George. But if we take a look at the other map, and I do have to refresh and make that one bigger, otherwise we won't see it so well. And there we go. There you can see the two quakes on Sao George. We also see down here this guy, and right near the island Miguel, I think it is. 2200 was, or 22 hours ago, for 2.2 right there. We don't see anything else over here anymore on the mid-Atlantic ridge. And of course, if we zoom out a little bit more, you can actually see what we are looking at in the scope of things. So this is Portugal and Spain over here, and you've got Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and then of course New York and all that stuff right around here. So it gives you a pretty good idea of where they are at. And of course down here is where our wonderful Canary Islands are located. So that's kind of what we're seeing there, and not really that many quakes. Pretty quiet, all things considered. And there's the two, and for once they're showing about the same. And 2.2 is the other one, and that's from 22 hours ago. So that's it for the Azores, and for Sao George. We will carry on, and we will go over to Popocatépetl. And why is that so fuzzy? Holy mackerel. And hang on, that's not the gray screen I wanted. I think that might be this one. Yep, our computers are doing things. Oh, that didn't help any. It really did not. Yep, that's about as good as it gets. Anyway, we did see wonderful Popocatépetl this morning, and we will actually catch a little eruption from it this morning as well. And it started right, well, a little bit before this actually, but you can see that material coming out. This was from 7, just after 7 a.m. this morning, and piggy street cred required, or piggy, 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 what are we gonna do with you? You're such an awesome and sweet person, Piggy. I don't know if we can get you any street cred. And that is the way it is. And yep, a lot of smoke and dirty ash coming out of Popocatépetl. Of course, being accented by that white flaky stuff that actually our ski hill is getting closer to being finished. Soon we'll be able to go volcano skiing right from the rim of Popocatépetl down that left side there. We're going to have a nice run, and we're going to put a jump on the bottom, and that would be pretty awesome. Anyway, as we look at that, I'm just going to advance it 5 seconds at a time to kind of expedite it and just show you what it looked like. And it was pretty darn good for a while, and of course that just seemed to keep coming and coming and coming. And of course that is pretty awesome to see. It's almost like multiple shots coming out of there, and that's what you would expect for a wonderful volcano doing its thing. And I don't know how much more it kept going, but when we keep pushing that 5 seconds at a time forward, we see that this thing is just producing a lot of ash and possibly even some volcanic lightning. And that is pretty cool, pretty impressive. And I don't know how long this actually carried on, because it lasted a while. And there we go. That's almost what is it, 6, 7, 8, 10. Just about. We started at 3, so yeah. So 10 minutes straight of erupting, and that is awesome. Piggy, street cred required. Here you go. Tough toys. Oh boy. Don't be giving her sharp objects. Sue, my God, she's going to do bad things with those. And here comes some more stuff. Actually, I'm going to back that one up. I just want to see something here. Keep an eye on that new plume that came out, and see if you do happen to see some lightning in there. And I thought I seen a flicker, and I wasn't sure. So it might just be me advancing it, but that is what we've got. So pretty cool. Yeah, maybe it wasn't lightning. It was just my screen showing advancement here. But you see how much darker that material was compared to the first set of eruptions, and that is still going. So 706 is when we started out with that, and it just kept on going, just about 20 minutes straight almost, if not more. And that definitely is a little bit worrisome for the people in the area. But let's see if we advance this a little bit more. I'm trying to get it to go forward, and yeah, then later on, yeah, about a half an hour later, still going, still throwing out material. And then it starts to clear up a little bit once we get further down the road. That's now 7:45 a.m. And then by the time we get to about 8 a.m., it seems to have gone back to just normal white stuff. And yeah, big earthquake in Papua New Guinea. We see that. Whoop. Moved the wrong screen. Yeah, well, Papua New Guinea, we'll have a look at that when we get over to it. But yeah, we see that right there. 6.1, and that is there 15 kilometers down. And happened right there. Pretty awesome. But we'll get back to where we were here. And so having seen a Popocatépetl, we know it's there, it's doing its thing. And let me get back on that screen. We'll put that back to live. That is what it's like there right now. The other one I wanted to look at, of course, is Fuego. And when we go back here, we can take a look at Fuego. Let's see, about 11 and a half hours ago, roughly, and we see this 6:25, 6:25 a.m. And there you go. As you see, the pluming that it was doing as well. So they are definitely erupting. You can see a lot of material falling down the side of the mountain slope. As you can see, the dust trails and everything. Pretty awesome coming down, and a little bit more on this side this time as well. Very dark material, mind you. Sun is not up. Hey, Irish Monk, welcome to the Lavaliers, and glad that you're back on there. I don't know how you figured that out, but good to see, and that is awesome. You might have found the right Irish monk account, maybe, but he's back. Yes, it's awesome that he's back. And I'm going to write that down. Irish is back. And renewed membership. There we go. And that is... Anyway, that is Fuego in Guatemala, you guys, and of course it's continuing to do its thing. There were a few more little puffs out of it, but nothing major that I seen, at least not that I noticed. And when I say a few more little puffs, I'm talking about just very tiny ones that popped out of there. Let's see if we can advance that a little bit. There we go. And these are relatively small in comparison to the other ones. And that's all we've got there. And then as we cruise along, there's a bigger one right around here. And that one had a little bit more stuff coming off of it. Actually, I think I went a little too far there. Let's see if we can get that to jump back a bit. Put the lava back in the can. All right, come on. Go back in there, you. It's hard to get that smoke all back in there. Every time it erupts, it shoots out. It goes so far. There we go. I'll let that run through here, and that should be going. But it, there it goes. That's what I was waiting for. You can see how that kind of mushroomed out there. Dr. Fox, snout bump, 5-minute warning, stomps trotters. Okay, Piggy. She's trying to get her street cred back really bad. I gotta watch out. She's gonna release Poppet right before it's time. Puts a coin in the slot. Wow, Irish monk, that is awesome. And thank you kindly for that €2 super chat. That's very kind of you. And what kind of coin did you put in there? And a €2 coin. That is awesome. Never mind. All right, bad humor. Anyway, let's see if we can find anything else from Popo Cathy Petal. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Fuego, I mean. This is Fuego, not Popo. We had a look at Popo already. This is 9:10 a.m. For Fuego. And that is another one of those nice plumes coming out of there. So we know that this volcano is continuing to do its thing, and wonderful. And I'm just looking at where it's getting into the clouds. This is kind of a neat shot here, and as the clouds are moving in, it gives off a plume with an arm hanging out. That is pretty awesome. And it almost looks like a face, 2 eyes, a mouth, and the fancy hat up top here, and an arm with a fist raised. Okay, never mind. I'm seeing things. Pareidolia will console you. Anyway, let's carry on with what we're seeing. After that, things got really gloomy, and we ended up with our volcano disappearing into the abyss of wonderful clouds, and we'll get back to live. That's what it is looking like right now. This is out at Cerro Negro, and you can see the plume is coming towards the camera, plus possibly some low clouds in there, and very difficult to see anything. And there, of course, is a Messiah in Nicaragua as well, and we see its plume going up fairly nicely, as it always seems to do. This one seems to be a fairly well-behaved volcano. I've yet to see lava coming out, though, and hopefully we will in the future. And looking at time, let's have a look at what we can't see at Merapi. There's Merapi. Merapi did not make me happy, and I did not see any lava. And I was sitting here all morning with my Java and no lava. So that's kind of where it left us. If we get into the darkness, as we get back in time, we still don't see anything major. We do have a little spot here. Let's see if we can get to that. We should be able to see something coming out right in here. And we'll see. There it is, right there. Kevin Haynes gifted one DrFox membership. Thanks, Kevin Haynes. Kevin Haynes. And that's awesome. Gifted one. There we go. And that is pretty cool. We do see it dropping down there. I wonder, is that, yeah, that's as good as it gets. But there's a little bit of bacon coming down the side of Merapi for a change, and we can actually see it. So that is kind of nice, but it wasn't doing a heck of a lot of that. Visibility has been very, very poor in the past here, so that's actually going down quite a ways. You can see it tumbling down the hill. Oh, we got more spots where it's bouncing out, and some stuff starting to glow in different spots here. So pretty awesome to see. Those are lava bombs. Don't be anywhere down here. You're going to get hit with a lava bomb. And that thing looks mean. It really does. It looks like it's rolling down the hill. So very careful. Anyway, let's see if we can see a little bit more of that lava. And I know it was in the clouds just prior to that little eruption it had. So hard to see anything. And no, we don't see anything else happening there. So that's it for that one. I'm going to put it back to live, and that way we can see what it looks like right now, 6:59 a.m. there. And of course, this I just popped over to New Zealand, Mount Ruapehu, and we won't see too much of it today. Going back even 2.5 hours, we see the bottom here is not so bad. But the top definitely being covered up by those massive clouds up there, and that makes things not so good. And I think his focus was off in this shot here too. So anyway, I'll leave it there. I'm not going to worry about that guy. This is Semaru, and Semaru had a few pops as well, but nothing too major here. Where the heck is my Semaru? There it is. Again, something wrong with the quality of that one camera. These small ones look absolutely nice, yet that is fuzzy and out of focus. So that's what we've got. Anyway, I'm going to leave that be, and just a quick peek. That is doing okay at Sakurajima, and we will put this back over to Iceland. We'll actually turn on the canned lava for you, and we'll leave that on there. That's from the 6th. And anyway, it's break time, you guys. So for all those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out. It is the easiest and most economical way to support the stream. So if you haven't hit that like button, please give it a shot. Once we get over 100, it gets easier with the YouTube analytics, and their stuff takes over. And also, if you are new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider that if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, you may be hearing my voice is starting to go. So I'm going to say I'm going to go for that break. When I get back, we'll have some bacon seeds. Keep smiling, you guys, and play nice in the lava. And give Piggybacker street cred. I'll be back. Keep safe. All right. go. I am back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And welcome back. Not enough intake of Pepsi. I have it here, Piggy. If I need, I will. The kraken leaves my canaries alone. Oh, good. We don't want that. Anyway, a few more people popped in. Welcome Neil and Kathy and Kananaska's Country. And let's see. I hope your voice is back safe, Doc. I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. We'll try not to talk too loudly and all that nice stuff. We'll see. Anyway, thanks everyone for the welcome backs. Andy Morgan also here. Good to see you. And let's see. How's it going, Sharon Williams? Okay, hang on. Did I miss someone? Sharon Stewart is here. Welcome, and saying, I can hear you, of course. But I think somebody's got names confused there. Anyway, hey guys, it's bacon seed time. So let's stop this. And, we can even turn that off. Of course, that is what Iceland was looking like earlier today at 10 minutes after or 11 minutes after 5 p.m. That eerie look out of focus because there is water on the lens. So pretty awesome. Anyway, let's go over there and we'll take a look at our bacon seeds for today. That is always fun. We like that. Anyway, that is the last one from yesterday, and that was that cute little guy in the basket. I like that, and that is an awesome little picture. And let's see the first one for today, and that is this fella, of course, getting a massage, and look at the smile on his face, and just hanging in there. Like seriously. Yeah, behind the ear scratches and just the look on his face, definitely not worried. So really cute. Next one is looks like mama and a baby, perhaps a couple of little ones there. So really awesome to see. And let's carry on and see if we have another one there. And you can see that little mini pig is really small since the mama is, a lot bigger, obviously. But that is about the size of a full-grown mini pig, I guess, the mama there. Really cute. Okay, next one that we've got is this little fella. Looking at us going, hey, what do you got there, buddy? I want some. And of course, this one looks like he was foraging in the slop trough with what he's got on his chin and stuff. It could have cleaned himself up a little bit, and that would have been nice. And let's go to our next one. Saying pass the food noodle. Oh yeah. And what's this one saying? Hey, I'm a cow pig. No, I'm not sure what that one is saying. That is pretty neat looking though. I like that tilted head there. Kind of makes you wonder if they've got any intelligence listening to the people perhaps or something. I got food. All right. Next one on our agenda is this little guy. And just so you get a little bit of an idea how small that little pig is, you take a look at the size of the nail heads in those boards, okay? And that gives you a pretty good idea that this thing is a really, really tiny little guy. And he's got racing stripes, though. So it's a fawn pig. You can definitely let that little guy zip and teeny tiny and doing his thing, his or hers. Doesn't look too skinny, definitely has a little bit of a belly, so very awesome. Newborn knee, what? Kun Kun? Oh, it's a newborn Kun Kun. All right, and that is neat. Very small. And let's get our last little wonderful bacon seed for today, and that is this guy. And of course, that is another one with fawn stripes, and kind of cute. I like that little guy. Again, smiling. So that is always beautiful when you can see an animal actually smiling. Definitely makes a guy feel a little bit better. A seed with attitude. This one is all right. He's kind of smirking. Ginger piggy. Yep, could be. Looks good though. I like it. Pigs always smile. Aw, that's nice. Okay, let's get back to our volcanoes, and of course the one that we've been looking at quite a bit today, well, I have been anyway, is Sakurajima. I'm waiting for the darn thing to really go crazy and erupt like mad, but it hasn't done so as of yet. While we're here, the ice cream boat did leave. I hope everybody got their ice cream. Just had to check on that. But another one will be along here soon, so fear not if you missed it. And that is all right. Perfectibility 999, Brian, welcome, and that is all right. And let's take a look at the other ones that we have in Japan. So we already know Sakurajima is doing its thing, and here's ASO. There, of course, you can see the caldera up top here, and it is steaming off a lot of the moisture that has been falling in the area as rain. So pretty cool, and it continues to do its thing. And of course that one is rated as a green, but you never know, it could pop. It doesn't need much rumblings to make it pop out of there. So next one, of course, Suwanosejima, also in Japan. This is on one of the southern islands, and that one is a little harder to tell where things are, but the caldera is in there somewhere in the clouds. If we go back, we may be able to see some eruptive time here. Let's try to find a spot here where it was actually pluming out without too many clouds, and that may be difficult right now. Yeah, it is. Going back a little bit further, actually, where was I here? It kind of sort of shows it right around here, I think. And yeah, you can see this plume here in the foreground is definitely from the volcano. The other stuff behind it is from just regular clouds kind of scooting by. So that's what we're seeing. It continues to do its thing. This is about 1 a.m., 1:15 a.m. By the way, it's a moonlit night, and that's why it is as bright as it is. And looks pretty awesome. And yeah, back in the clouds at what is it, at 2350. So yeah, hard to tell what that one is doing, really. This is back to current time, 9:17 a.m. and very, very difficult to see, as I said, with what we've got coming out. Next one on our list is not going to be visible, and that is Taal. And why is that not shock me? And that is Taal volcano. Very difficult to see anything there. Of course, the early morning lights. Actually, it wasn't bad. This is what, 4 hours ago we were able to see that, but then as it got into the earlier hours of the morning, we had what appears to be a low-level storm come in there, and that is 2 hours ago. This is approximately 1 hour ago, and this is back to live. So we're not going to be able to see a heck of a lot. We know that there's a road there, there's a building here. We can't see the volcano at all. Moving on, let's have a look at, what is that? That is the beehive vent in Yellowstone National Park. And that is pretty awesome, and we know Yellowstone is continuing to do its thing and off-gas and so on. And of course, it has, let's see, I'm just trying to get onto that Yellowstone one, and I don't see it here. Where is it? Things have moved so much, it's so difficult to find things. There we go, found it, and now I'm on it. Anyway, that is what we're seeing right there. Some good folks wandering on by, not too interested, in some Sasquatch standing right there watching it, waiting for fish to pop out. But that's okay. Yes, that is the beehive, and I don't know why they call it that, but I guess because of the way it's shaped. Kind of reminds me of the movie Aliens. Or Alien, where you have those things that pop out there. It opens up in the top, and the thing pops out and flies at your face and lands on it. And anyway, no, never mind. I don't want to scare anybody. Looks like an old-fashioned beehive. Yep, possibly. Anyway, they zoomed out a little bit, and that's what we're seeing in the area, so not bad at all. And let's pop over to Hawaii. Unfortunately, because I had to redo my computer here with the updates and everything, I was not able to save the nice-looking neons colored picture that I had saved for today, but it didn't work out. Anyway, instead we got the photo from 856 is what we're seeing. It's not bad. We do see that down here on the right side, some venting going on here. The little vents, there's a lava tube underneath that, and this is the area where the lava pours into our wonderful little lava pond. And all of this is, of course, in the Kilauea's crater. And we see the stream going across, and then it kind of veered off on this side as well. I'm seeing it flow over in the other direction. The brighter spots you see are places where the lava is actually draining out of the pond here, and of course as it drains out, the lava goes down, the gas bubbles go up, and what makes all that bright reddish orangey color there is, of course, the gas bubbles bursting the top layer of solidified lava, and that's kind of why we're seeing it. But we see this one here, that's obviously feeding the toe area. These are subducting somewhere, I have no idea. Same thing with this one. And there's another one here that we normally see quite brightly. Let's take a look and see what it looks like right now. This is the current picture, 1411. And there again, you can see where the flow was coming in. We do have a little bit more of a drain hole here now. Still, those two are in existence, and same as these ones up here. So still doing its thing. That is pretty cool, pretty awesome. One of the things that is really fascinating, though, is, you know, when you see these, you wonder, so, all right, well, if it's splattering up, and you see all the ridge line here, how high this has built. It's just like around the toe area where it was going up and going down as far as the level was concerned. And it's pretty interesting to see how high that built the area up in the background. And this is almost, well, it's probably over from the level of the lava to the top. It's probably 1.5 meters. So this is not a small little thing. This is fairly large here. And that is interesting how that lava spatters over the backside. Dr. Fox, New Zealand, all the snow is melted, herring up. What? The snow melted? Which snow melted? Well, we're going to take a look at that again to have a look at. We couldn't see what's going on in New Zealand as far as Ruapehu, that was in the clouds. So, okay, I'll be back. I need to figure out what to do with fruit flies, unless you have a suggestion. A bowl or a small dish, a saucer that you use for a coffee cup, put some vinegar in there and just set it down on the counter. The fruit flies will attract to it and do that. Yep, fly paper, yeah, that works too. But I'm just thinking for immediate remedy is a vinegar and in a small, whatever you got, small plate or some kind of a dish, that works, and they get attracted to that fairly quickly. Anyway, looking at that, that looks pretty awesome. Let's carry on to the next picture. This is actually not bad for talking purposes here. We see the primary vent down there. Here's that little hornito, and that's where that lava tube is. And of course, you can't see the lava tube because it's buried. There's your primary pond. The toe area, unfortunately, hard to see in this particular picture, but it is there. Extra smoke coming off of here. Not sure what's going on with that, but you can see the kind of outline all the way around. The raised area in the center here, in comparison to around the edges. The edges are much lower than the center area that has been raised up. It is actually a floating island of cooler lava, and that is pretty awesome. In some places, very, very thick, up to probably 5 or 6 meters in some places, but still very buoyant considering it's floating on top of a bunch of liquefied lava, which is a lot more dense and heavy. There again is the primary lava pond, or sorry, primary vent lava pond, hornito there, and very hard to see where that toe area is. But again, you can see the outline of that circle, and this as a floating island of cooler lava up top here. So pretty awesome. Let's take a look at the other side, and it's very similar to what we were seeing. We can see Pig Island out here. A lot of cracking still around the edges, and of course over here primary vent, and everything else is snow, or sorry, not snow covered. Ha! It's not snow, it's smoke. Let's try that. It's smoke covered. So we can't see it. Might as well be snow, boy. Anyway, that would make it interesting if it started snowing in Hawaii. Right there, anyway. That would be really weird. Okay, let's take a look at this. Is what the picture is like at present. Again, you can see the lava pond a little bit better, as well as the toe area. And primary vent over there, hornito over here somewhere, lava tube, and the extra smokers. Still seeing some smoke on the edges as well, indicating more fresh lava has hit those areas. And let's look at the thermal for there. And again, there's your primary lava pond, a tow area, primary vent. We see this area has cooled down on the bottom here a bunch, but you can see the outer rim here is all a little bit on the light side yet, indicating that it is hotter, fresher lava, so pretty awesome. Going to refresh to a current picture. There it is. You can see it just cooled off a little bit more, but it is still quite visible with the thermal. You can still see quite a bit all the way around the lava island that is floating in the middle here. So that's kind of what we've got, and pretty awesome, you guys. And Hawaii earthquakes we will get to after the break, I think. And let me get on the right screen here for Hawaii earthquakes. There we go. And we'll have a look. And they got another aftershock there, 5.9 in Indonesia, where that 6.1 was, or whatever it is. Yeah, 6.1 and a 5.9 aftershock, just so we're aware of that. Anyway, we'll get back to this after the break. That's a sizable one, I think. No, 2.6, not that bad. Okay, and that is the Hawaiian Islands. We'll take a look at that. Unpause the lava time. Unpause the lava. Okay, we'll flow the lava. We'll let the lava flow. There's the lava. It's flowing. I'm letting the lava flow. And hopefully that will be good for you, Peggy. And yeah, we're letting it do its thing. Why is that? Yeah, there it goes. Yep, it's working. No worries. And I just wanted to make sure that was going. For all those good people out there, if you have not yet hit that like button, let's help us out. And we want to make sure we get over that 100 mark. YouTube analytics do a lot once it gets over that. So really looking forward to you guys helping us out. And of course, it's the most economical way to help out the stream. Give it a shot if you haven't done so. And yes, Sue, there was the 6.1 and the 5.9 there as well. On those friendly words, I'm going to be taking a 5 or so minute break. I will be back after the break. So keep smiling, be nice, hit the like button, all that nice stuff. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be back in about 5 or so. Thanks. Stick around. And there we go. Finally got that microphone back on. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board. And let's see. Irish Monk. Thank you for that wonderful super chat. Puts a penny in the slot. That is awesome. Thank you kindly, Irish Monk. Appreciate that. And let's park our wonderful lava right there for now. And I'll put the magic stop on it since I'm able to do that. And we will freeze it. Freeze that lava. And there we go. Actually, we'll move it there. Okay, so lava is set, and we're going to go back over to have a look at the Hawaiian Islands. Thank you, everyone, for the wonderful welcome backs from, I see Sue Hayes and C&D Boy and Kevin Haynes, Kananaska's Country, Sharon Stewart, of course, saying, I hear you, Dr. Fox, all good, right on. And Daryl R. is also in the house. Welcome, Daryl, and thanks, Paul Williams. Here, hurry you. I hurry you. All right. I thought that was an accent coming through there, Sharon. I'm not sure. Andy Morgan, thank you. And Magical Doc, thanks, Sarah. So all good. And Sarah Miles, Earth X blunt, imploding. It's not imploding. It has no place to implode to. Besides, gravity isn't strong enough to implode this planet. It's too dense for right now. Anyway, we need a heck of a lot more gravity. Let's go back over there to Hawaii, and we're going to look at the earthquakes in Hawaii and see what we've got. And now, of course, there's your Hawaiian island chain. And the first thing that we see is we got the red dot. We already kind of checked him. I'm more interested in these guys up here. But let's start down here in the bottom area. 1.9 from 1429, or sorry, 1424, 38.4 kilometers down. That is out past the Loihi Seamound, which would be about here. So kind of, again, a little bit of an odd place to see that quake. But, hey, they'd happen there. That is not a problem. Let's zoom in a little more. Pahala area, and we'll see really not that many new quakes happening in the area. So a quick shot at this 1.8 from yesterday, 2242. Then we have a 1.9 from today, 4:37 a.m. We have a 1.7 from 3:31 in the morning. This guy here, 2.4, a little bit bigger, 1:46 a.m. And that is all we're seeing over on this side. Then we have the other area over here, and we see 2.1 from 9:27 a.m. And then we have the latest one here, or at least the most recent, 2.6 from 1812. And the Pahala area, of course, everything in this area is roughly between 29 and 36 kilometers down on average. And it can vary, so that is what we're seeing there. Anyway, sliding up the hill a little bit, we see this guy. We'll catch him on the way up. It's a long way up. That one is 7 kilometers down from 1615 today. And that is what we see for a 1.8. We have this one right here in the caldera, 2.6, 2:47 a.m., saying minus 2 kilometers, so 2 kilometers above sea level. And that is well into the mountain there. And then we have these three little ones, 0.6, 4:28 a.m., that is 300 meters above sea level. Then we have this guy, 0.8, 200 meters above sea level, 4:19 a.m. We have this guy, 4:36 a.m., 1.3 kilometers below sea level, and then we have this guy here, 1.9 from 6:42 a.m. and that is also well up into the mountain at 3.4 kilometers up. And this one here, 1.6, about 3.4 kilometers up, 4:53 a.m. on that guy. We don't see any others over there, so that's all right. And looking at our wonderful Kilauea, we see the older quakes, but nothing new. And of course, it's deceiving when we look at the older picture here. That caldera has got a lot more lava in it than what we're seeing here. So that is kind of it for our Hawaiian earthquakes. And I think what we can do is zoom out, and we will take a look at some of the other areas. I think what we'll do is head down here towards New Zealand, and I see we have had an earthquake in New Zealand, and that is a 4.4, 8.4 kilometers down. 12:36 is the time, and that kind of makes you go, right there. That might be right on top of a volcano or very close to it. Active zone, anyway. That is interesting. So, sliding up the Kermadec Ridge, we don't see anything else. And then we get over here, and this is a Papua New Guinea area, 4.5 from 339, 65 kilometers down. And then we see this 5.2, 1.6 kilometers down from 7:12 a.m. And then, of course, we have 2 or 3 here already. There's the big one, 6.2, and that happened at 17:31, 18 kilometers down. And if we get off of that one, there's another, a larger one there, 5.9, that is 17:44, so an aftershock, 19.1 kilometers down, and then it had another aftershock, which is another 5.9 from 18:05. That one's a little deeper at 32.6 kilometers down. So definitely shaking the ground over there, you guys, and I'm waiting for it's not Godzilla over there, it'd be King Kong to come out of there somewhere and do his thing. Over here we see our little line that we normally see where we have Luolatok over here as far as a volcano, but we see 4.9 right there, and that is 154 kilometers down from 1538, and then we have this guy 5.1, 10 kilometers down, and it was from 3:17 in the morning. So fairly sizable quakes. And looking at the Java area, we don't see any quakes, but we see a lot of little volcanoes popping out. There's Krakatoa, by the way, and then where we get over Merapi and Semeru, and the other ones be down here somewhere. And let's see what else we can find, though. Right near Dekono and Ibu, we see a 5.1 from 11:20, 53.7 kilometers down. And going up, we don't see too much on most of those places. I did mention this quake earlier, and that is kind of part and parcel to the entire plate shift thing that we're kind of looking at with what's happening in Iceland. And this is the continuation of that same ridge, only over onto the Asian side. So 5.2, 10 kilometers down, 3:01 a.m. is when that guy happened. Not seeing too many more. Oh, hang on, we just got another quake right there. Another 6.2 just happened, 18:05, 15.7 kilometers down, and that's what we're seeing there now. So that's kind of what it is. So two 6.2s and that is pretty heavy duty for those guys there in Papua New Guinea. And wow, I wasn't expecting that. And New Zealand, North Island has a lot of volcanoes. Yes, it does. Anyway, it's a good thing that we had another look there. That is interesting. Anyway, a couple here in the Himalayas, I guess 4.6, and that is 10 kilometers down from yesterday, 2108. And then Afghanistan here, 4.4 in the Hindu Kush area, or region of Afghanistan, and 202 kilometers down for that guy. A quick peek here, we see 5.2 South Sandwich Islands, and then we see a couple more right here on the mid-Atlantic ridge, and there we go, 5.1, and that is saying it's a distance north of Ascension Island. That is all right. Let's get off of that one. The other one, 4.8, same area, and that is definitely happening there. And then when we went up here, we seen that they actually added another 4.4 onto the stuff that we've had coming out of Iceland. From that one was some 1344. So pretty cool, pretty awesome, you guys. Those are the shakers that we're seeing there. Let's have a look at our Canary Islands, and we'll see what we've got shaken there. And refreshing, there we go. And of course we see the flash of that star right on top of the volcano there on Tenerife, and that is not unusual. We've seen those before. Looking at La Palma though, because that's where our interest lies, we see today is the 9th, and we only see quakes from yesterday, so we have nothing new in La Palma, which is kind of interesting, and that is pretty neat. One of the 5.9s was upgraded to 6.2. Okay, so all right, that latest one, then they upgraded it. That's interesting, Sue, thanks. And that does happen. They will upgrade and regrade them. Was looking for more quakes up here, and of course this is the African plate. Just to the north would be the Eurasian plate, and then we can't see the North American plate from this map, but that's what we've got. Quick peek at the volcano map around the world. I'm going to refresh that first, so again we have everything up to date, and sliding over, we do see on this map they keep indicating more stuff here. So 2 hours ago, 2 hours and 25 minutes ago, 4.1 there in Grimsey, and that is the area. And of course, Yvonne said she is going up to that area as well, and going to have a look, so that'll be interesting. So if something does pop up there, Yvonne will be there in a few hours. Well, she'll be in Iceland in a few hours, maybe about 6 or 7 or 8 hours or something, and she did say she was going to go up to Grimsey as well as have a look at Frega del Fiol and Siggy Fishers there, so we know what's going on. Anyway, zooming back out, we see those are still listed as yellows, and looking at our ring of fire, it's pretty much still intact, and this is interesting news. White Isle volcano back to a yellow. It was a green for the longest time, and they have put it back. Here in Tonga is still on Tofua, and the American Samoa's Ta'u, and nothing new there, and still pretty much the same in Vanuatu. And this is starting to build up to be an interesting stack. They are showing 4 earthquakes there. So we had the 5.9 from 29 minutes ago, 6.2 there, and 5.9 there. So one of them got upgraded, but I'm a little confused. The other map showed it over here, and these guys are showing it over here. So somebody's got to get their crayons in the right place, and hopefully they'll figure out where that earthquake actually is. And going along here, there's a Lulnatak. There's the other one where we had the 5.1 27 minutes ago, giving it some more get up and go. There's Raung and Merapi, Semaru Merapi over here, and Krakatau or Krakatoa, son of Krakatoa. And there we go, sliding up. Ibu, Dakota, still there. They've got some shakers happening around it as well, trying to get that lava flowing, I think. And that's okay, it's still normal. We have a 4.7 here in the Philippines. Mayon still orange, or yellow, I mean. And same with Taal. Nothing really unusual or weird there. Getting up here, Suwanoshi Jima and Sakurajima still both red. And looking at what we've got on our Kamchatka Peninsula here, we're still Chikorachki and Ibiko doing their thing. Karimsky and Bezimiani orange, and of course Chevalish as doing its thing. Pardon me. Not anything like, I've been checking for pictures on these guys. I don't see a heck of a lot for those areas. The only picture from Iceland I got today was this one here, and of course that is Pavlov, and you can see it a little bit. I mean, you can see it there, but it wasn't, again, the greatest shot, but at least we can see it today. It's not all grayed out, right? So that's what we've got going on there. Anyway, let's get back to the other map, and there we go. And zoom back out to see for anything else new. And we really don't see anything change in here at all. Etna still right where it is. Stromboli and Campi are still doing their things as well. I think that's good for our earthquakes. A 4-minute warning, thank you. That sounds like a heck of a warning. Hey, since we're going to take a break anyway, I will do a couple of things we want to pop around here and take a look at Sakurajima again. And I got to get myself on the right screen so I can change that back. And no ice cream boat in, but see, it's calmed down completely. Very little smoke coming out of there now. And that is a little weird. And earlier we seen massive amounts of eruptions happening out of it, and kind of makes the guy wonder what the heck, and now it is quiet and dormant. This was from 5:47 this morning. That's what it was looking like, and those poor people are waking up to that, right? And we see that progressed a little bit more there. So pretty awesome though. And I think flying bird, yeah, most birds do that. Pterodactyl flying over Sakurajima. Pterodactyl. Are you sure it was a pterodactyl? Perhaps it was one of those other ones, the predecessors. What the heck was it? I'll think of it in a few minutes here. Probably while I'm on break, I'll come to me. Preceding, massive bird. A pterodactyl is huge, but emu is a bird. They don't fly. I know, but they sure can run, and they can bite, and they can kick like crazy. So they don't need to fly. Yep. Most, like I say, most birds do fly, but there are a few. Penguins are considered a bird as well, and they don't fly, right? I have no idea. Is the penguin a bird? I have no idea. Uh, anyway, ostrich. Penguin isn't a bird? Okay, fine. Be that way. It's got wings. Thunderbird. Yeah. Penguins fly in the water. They do too. Big puff. That's a good one. Okay. Anyway, you guys, I'll throw it back on the canned lava here for right now, and that'll be good. We should be doing our thing. I'm gonna go take another little break here, and before my throat gives out. And don't go away. Keep smiling, and don't forget to hit that like button, you guys. Help us out, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. Thanks. There we go. Got that microphone back on. Pardon me. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board still. And welcome, Daddy. Welcome back, Daddy Foxy Loxy. Holy mackerel. Piggy, I think you need some sleep. Brian, Rock Rail Fan says, bye for today, everyone, on the live stream. Take care, Brian. Thank you, Sue Hayes and Andy Morgan. And let's see, Kevin Haynes, Sasha, Kananaskis Country. Thanks, all you guys. Grandma B, thank you. And for Piggy's street cred, Irish Monk, that is awesome. And I hope she gets her street cred back. That would be pretty awesome. Thank you, Nancy, and Al as well. And Grandma B, nice to have you on board there. And yeah, Grandma B, I was going to say earlier, I seen over in the other channel that you had put down, you said you were all ready for the stream and everything, and then you realized it was only Friday. And this was for the 2 o'clock start, so that happens to all of us. It's one of those things. So don't feel bad. And actually, when you said that, I looked at my screen. I'm going, hang on, did I miss a day? And I thought, oh boy, I better fix that real quick. So anyway, I looked at it. It was all good. Anyway, let's get over and take a look at our wonderful weather around the world and see what we've got happening. We'll take a look. I've turned off our lava flow there, and that is what Iceland looks like this very minute. And it is 1:08 a.m. there in Iceland, I believe, if I'm up to date. That should be up to date. Yep, that is live. So unfortunately, we can't see a darn thing. We know it's there somewhere. Anyway, let's go have a look at our wonderful weather. And I'm surprised that is still on there. Okay, let's get over there. Refresh time, and let's refresh it. There we go. Get it to the right time and the right date. And that is what we're looking at for our SO2 levels in North America. Not bad in Canada, not bad in the US for the most part. Just what we refer to as normal pollution, and hopefully that'll dissipate as well. We do still have that big storm off the coast here. It is now coming up and getting up into towards Los Angeles area. So they will be getting some of that storm off the coast here. K is moving upward, and I don't know if that's going to bring some rain that they really, really want. And hopefully that'll cool them down as well. Looking at what we've got down in Mexico, Mexico City, of course, as well as Popocatépetl are working on making that big red spot. And that is because of that circulation here being all messed up. This is our next low that is building here. And that may turn into a storm as well. We'll see what happens in the future. Most of that is still moving out into the Pacific, but once we get over to Guatemala area, we see everything is being pulled in because of this storm here in New Orleans, and that is kind of drawing it over into the Gulf area and in the opposite direction of normal. And looking down from Costa Rica downward, though, everything seems to be normal until you get down to about Peru, and then instead of it flowing out into the Pacific, it is being drawn back over across the southern portion of South America and right out into the Atlantic Ocean. So that is what we're seeing there. Looks like we've got a storm sitting right in here somewhere, possibly another low sitting right there. causing this to speed up, and there's got to be a shear line in here somewhere. We'll see what happens, but that is the SO2 in South America. Looking at what we've seen, and we know White Isle volcano, of course, it's been upgraded to a yellow again. We've seen the larger plume off of it yesterday, and right now some of that is just dissipating in this area, and it looks like it's got a high sitting on top of it or something like that, and we do see it's kind of confusing it as far as which direction it really wants to go. Looking at down here, Tasmania, not too bad, and of course Melbourne, and we see that the stuff coming from the refineries is moving out a little bit. I don't think that's not Leo's barbecue. And a little more coming off of the coking plants north of Sydney there. And Vanuatu still pretty normal. Same thing with what we've got over here in Papua New Guinea. Luolatok throwing out more stuff than normal. And here you would have Semeru and Raun, as well as Merapi in the middle here. And then this plume and this end would be from Jakarta, as well as Krakatau, son of Krakatoa. And as we move over here, Ibu is Ibu and Dakono doing their thing, throwing that out. We see here Mayon also throwing out a bunch of stuff, but not anywhere near as hard and harsh. And here we have, of course, Manila in here, a lot of big city area, and then of course Taal, a volcano, adding to that mix a little bit. Looks like another storm forming right here, and we'll see what that does in the future. Trying to get at some of these other ones here. I see Suwanosi-jima, kind of a red spot there as well, and majority of it though coming from Sakura-jima, which is really throwing out quite a bit of material as we've seen earlier. Not too bad in most of the other places, and going all the way up, we see the Kamchatka Peninsula. They've got some kind of system sitting on there causing this to go up and then dropping onto the Aleutian Islands and into the Pacific Ocean. That is actually not too bad. Some of it going up here into the Arctic Ocean as well. Not seeing too much out of place in India, and pretty abnormal here. South Africa, lots of pollution there. Same thing with here in DR Congo. That is both coking plants as well as the volcano there. We don't see much of Erta Ale because of the pollution from Saudi Arabia, unfortunately. And we'll leave that area alone, and looks like it's long, but it's starting to lighten up a little bit, and that is interesting to see. Mount Etna is calming down a bit. And of course the other one up here would be a Stromboli, as well as a Volcano in the middle, and they are all adding to that plume, but the darker area here is primarily from our Mount Etna. Seeing some of that SO2 also hanging along the edges here of northern portions of Africa. Very interesting. Looking at, we see that system sitting over Holland here, or rotation anyway over Holland, and some of that SO2 in England, as well as Germany, the western portions of Germany. Not bad though. Poland seems to have a fair amount there as well. Nothing in Sweden, Norway, or Finland, and hardly anything noticeable here coming from Iceland now. So kind of makes you wonder. All right, let's have a look at the other weather. And I'm going to refresh it so we are up to date. And there it is. And they have K way down here yet. The other one had K moved up already over there. So I'm wondering what the heck is going on here. Anyway, we see that is coming up. That's odd that they would do that. Let me look at this again here. Because that don't make sense. We see that circulation right here. Here's our border, and you can see it's already affecting it. So why the heck are these guys putting it down here? It's out here up near the border. Things that make you go, but that is kind of what we see there. So somebody is not knowing where the storm is. I have no idea. Let's take a look at where the clouds are. And clouds, according to this, I confirm that that's where it is. Why is it not moving further north? I'm just looking at something here. If I advance this, it's not moving. It's staying in the same spot. Something wrong with this map. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, let's look at what we've got here. Northern portions of Canada starting to really cool off big time. And looking at what we've got here along the mountains, very cold. Edmonton did not get very warm today at all. Fall is definitely coming, and we see that most of the Yukon is really starting to cool off, as well as northern British Columbia. Alaska is really cooling as well. And of course, we've got a couple of lows sitting up in here, really making a mess of things, pushing some of that colder air back down. Going over into Ontario, we do see a little bit warmer temperatures than out in the west, about 22, 23 degrees in the bottom end, still showing some 20-degree temperatures up in there as well. Northern portions of Ontario and some areas right along Hudson's Bay, still a little bit warmer, but when we get out in Newfoundland area on the edges, that starts to get a little bit colder. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI area is still relatively warm in comparison to what it could be. Could be 7 or 8 degrees like what we have over here. So let's leave that alone. Earl is doing its thing. Earl, the soul singer. I'm sure you've heard of him. Anyway, looking over here, I want to take a look at the western portions of the United States. A lower area here, very warm still, 42, 43 degrees in some areas. A real heavy heat wave. Death Valley, 40 degrees Celsius. And that is actually a pretty mild in comparison to some of the other areas here, 42, 43, 45 degrees. So I'm not sure, 47 there, 48. So we do see there's a lot of high temperature there still, and that is pretty wild for those good people there. 40 degrees in Las Vegas. A good thing they've got lots of air conditioners. And then of course 43, 42 up here in all the way to Reading, 42 degrees. Wow. Really hot for the most part. And I think if that storm moves up, and again, I'm a little confused with the map because the other map showed it here. And I have really no idea which one to believe now. And if K is moved up, K will move up, right? But that is going to drive some weather into the area here and get things raining. Anyway, looking at central U.S., fairly warm throughout, not that bad. And then once we get into the eastern side, more moderate temperatures for this time of year, 20 degrees Celsius, not bad day. Really can't complain about that, getting down a little lower here in Georgia, Alabama and Florida, looking pretty nice. A little cool, but nice as far as they're concerned. 27 in Cancun today, and we see even in our good Mexico here, we're seeing some places that are a little bit cooler as well. Higher elevations, of course, are much, much cooler. Sliding down Central America looks pretty normal. Again, South America, higher elevations, definitely very noticeable. And we do see a lot more heat returning to the Amazon, and there we seem to have a collision of systems and some very high temperature right in this area of that would be Paraguay, and that is pretty interesting. It kind of drops down here into a bottom end of Brazil as well. Uruguay not too bad, but a southern end of Argentina and Chile, both very chilly. Sliding over to New Zealand real quick, and seeing what we've got there. High there, looks like a high there, and that would be a low there. So high, and a high maybe, and a low. All right. Cold, and cold. And those highs are supposed to bring warmer air in, not cold. But yeah, anyway, ranging from about, I think, about 6 or 7 to about 11, 13. There we go. 13 degrees Celsius on the South Island. North Island, anywhere from, I guess, about 11 to 14, 15, 16. There we go. So a little bit warmer on the North Island. Tasmania has warmed up. You can almost go to the beach and go swimming. 14, 15 degrees, 13 in some spots, but not bad. And then when we take a look here, Melbourne coming in at about 16 degrees, if not a little bit warmer. Looking pretty awesome. This low here is trying to throw some cold air in, but that high there is going to stop it from coming down. Sydney, same temps as Melbourne, going up here into Brisbane, a little bit warmer, a degree or two. And Perth also coming in about 14, 15 degrees, so not bad. Northern portions of Australia starting to really warm up again. And looking at our Indonesian, Malaysian area, we do see a lot of heat there, and trying to get into Bangkok, and 27 degrees in Bangkok on the map, and 27 on what Sue Hayes brought up. Thank you, Sue, saying humidity 90%, and that is pretty high. It might be raining there. In the sea, Philippine Sea, Muifa, the storm is still there. And you know, everything was heading up north before. Now it's starting to come south, which is really weird. So I don't know exactly what is going on there, but we'll see how those things change over time. Sea of Japan seems to be a turning point. There might be something right in here, perhaps another high pressure zone. So we'll see. Going up a little bit more, Kamchatka Peninsula definitely cooling, and we see why. You see all that cold up top here. These lows definitely helping bring that cold air in. We do still have that high as well as this one in the Pacific, Northern Pacific, trying to keep the warm air pumping up, but I think they're going to lose out soon. And looking here, Indian Ocean, a very big low here, as well as this one. So some storm stuff happening for the people of India. Looking at the bottom end of Africa, we see it's basically South Africa that's the coolest area, and everything else seems to be a little bit warmer. and including Madagascar out here, so not bad. Regular stuff in most of Africa, a little bit on the cool side. Mind you, it's nighttime, so to be expected. And still showing some good heat here in the Sahara Desert, and that is 35, 36 in some places. Same thing goes for Saudi Arabia. Not quite as hot, but that as well as Iraq, and along the coastal lines of Iran, as well as I see over here in Afghanistan, still very hot as well. Looking at, let's take a look at Piggy's weather and see how that is. And Piggy is about 25 degrees Celsius right now, and that is kind of what we've got there. I have ordered a rain for tomorrow. Okay, Irish Monk, thank you for that wonderful super chat. And Irish and Monk, and thank you kindly for that €2, and that is awesome, Irish. And we will take a look there shortly and see. Yeah, very warm for cost, 23. So still a little bit on the warm side there. Looking at what we've got going on here, looks like that low, possibly some storms happening in the Sicily area. We do see some fast moving winds there as well. Still pretty moderate temperatures, not overly hot, but still there. And for our wonderful Italy and Sicily, all the way up in the north here, up against the mountains, not bad. And we slide over and have a look at, of course, Portugal, looking at pretty decent. Actually, you kind of wonder, you know, for 19, 20 degrees, that's not bad for nighttime. Could be a little bit cooler, but same thing with Spain. A lot of warmth yet in there, not freezing by any means. Again, the higher elevations a lot colder, and there we see the stuff here still warm in Spain. So moving up into France, bottom end of France, a lot warmer than the top end, but not by much. And looking at Belgium and Holland, 13, 14 degrees, 12 in some spots, up to 16 in some places in there in Holland, and of course Belgium looks like 15, 14, 15. Luxembourg 14, 15 as well. Same thing goes for most of Germany. Actually, a couple of places here dipped to about 12, but for the most part, looking like about 14 degrees, 15 degrees, not bad. And looking at what we've got flying across Denmark, still fairly warm. Could be colder there, but 13, 14 degrees, not bad. Bottom end of Sweden isn't too bad, but as soon as you get up around Stockholm, already 9 degrees, 10 in Oslo, and then it gets really cold in some places, all the way up 1, 2 degrees. That's Chile, and all the way up to the northern portions. So even in Finland, getting a little bit on the cold side. And that's kind of what we see right there. We do see that high out there, and that is definitely causing some problems. And then looking here, a low system, that is the one that was out here, moved all the way through, and I guess actually a little lower here. And now looks like the channel has got some wind and stuff like that happening, but it is warmer air that's blowing in. So it's not that terrible. And of course, looking at England, Wales, Scotland, they're all about the same. Pretty reasonable temperatures for this time of the year. Actually, a little warmer down on the bottom, but that's not too bad. Irish Monkland, saying 13, 14 degrees in the Doolin area, and that would be right in here somewhere, and not bad. And then of course looking at what we see in Northern Ireland, a little bit cooler, not too much though. And Iceland, since Yvonne is going there, she will be interested if she does happen to watch. She's probably still sleeping, but 9-10 degrees there, and that is interesting. And we'll see if it warms up there. 11 in some spots on the peninsula. So really cool or warm, normal. And going up here, about the same temperatures up in the north, which is really odd considering it is a little ways up there. But that's what we've got for our weather. As far as the temperatures, let's pop over to precipitation and see. Precipitation, and there we go. That's the one I want to click on. We see that low, the other low here. So up in Nunavut and the one in Hudson's Bay doing their thing. Here's the stuff that's in northern Alberta. So we are getting some of those fires put out. There were a few up there that I'm happy it's raining. We do see this system out here in Ontario, and that is probably soaking things down as well. And going out the St. Lawrence Seaway, we see a little bit of rain there as well, and not anything hitting it yet, but Nova Scotia, PEI, and New Brunswick are going to end up getting some of this storm, I'm sure, as it moves upward. And hopefully Earl won't sneak up there as well. That would be not so nice. Looking at the U.S., looks like the eastern side, not bad until you get down in the bottom end here. Once you get into Alabama and I guess Georgia, a little bit here in South Carolina, but we're seeing a lot here in Florida, probably because of this low stirring things up, and a little bit along the coast, the Gulf Coast. And that's kind of what we've got there. And working our way back up, we see that storm that goes in all the way from Wyoming all the way through northern northern Ontario into the Hudson's Bay, and it is continuing to be drawn down from the north. Looking there, we see here in northern parts of Arizona still some storms, as well as Vegas area, some isolated storms, so nothing really organized. Nothing like K, which the other map shows up here. I'm sorry, it just bugs me when I see, one place says one thing and the other place says a different thing, and it's the same system. It's like, come on guys, make up your minds. And that's all right. Anyway, it's, I guess, just the way it is. Looking at that, let's zoom out a little bit and go down to South America. We do see Central America has got pretty much covered in storms all over the place. Not so much there in the Amazon today. We do see Buenos Aires here getting nailed, so our people in Uruguay and of course Argentina are going to see most of that, and Chile down here in Chile. Let's go over to have a look at New Zealand. Shouldn't be too bad. South Island looks fairly dry. North Island, on the other hand, is getting some water around the edges, which is okay. And where we thought it was all nice, yeah, Melbourne isn't bad, but looking here at Tasmania, we see the eastern portions of Tasmania are getting rain. Plus, we have this nasty low sitting here causing all kinds of problems. And of course, Sydney all the way up to Brisbane and well beyond, that is getting hit by that system that is moved in. I do believe that was out here yesterday, so that is definitely doing its thing. And then down here, a little bit more moisture, which is probably not a bad thing for them near Adelaide and those areas. Moving out towards Perth looks fairly dry right now, but they do have some stuff offshore and a few spots here and there that are getting some moisture as well. Looking at the Malaysian, Indonesian, Philippine area, we do see quite a bit of stuff in there as far as storms. A big low here as well, causing some issues. Same thing with this guy. So we'll see if that turns into a super typhoon like the other one did. Japan still seeing quite a bit of storm stuff, and not overly bad though, which is all right. And we see some stuff up here, Kamchatka Peninsula area, and the low sitting there, high sitting here. And that's kind of what they're doing, and hold it, that would be a high as well. That's this way, right? And that's the high. No, that's a low. So the high is dumping into the low. And here's the stuff on Alaska. So Alaska's not a good place to be right now. Sliding over a little bit more, we do see the Indian Ocean stuff. And right around India, pretty nasty. We do see our normal kind of equatorial storm, if you will, all the way across the planet, and you can see that it's just hangs in there for some reason. Doesn't really want to die out. Let's look and see if we get any moisture for Piggy in the future, and I hate to say it, but no, unfortunately not. Sorry, Piggy, no rain in your forecast for another 3 or 4 days at least. And looking at what we're seeing in Italy, looks like Rome is right in between two separate systems here. And we do see some other weather off on the other side here, Hungary and those places getting some of that. And looking here, nothing in Spain. France has got some few isolated areas, and Germany, western side of Germany a little bit, not bad. And that storm going all the way up through Poland here is basically what we're seeing. And then let's do England here first. The channel, of course, we can see that they've got some rough seas there, so it might be advisable to take the channel rather than a ferry, and you'll be safer off. And Irish Monk, I think you may end up getting some rain. If you ordered it, it shall come, and hopefully that'll allow it to come over a little bit more, because most of that looks like it's going the other way. So hopefully we'll see some stragglers. Looking up here and at Denmark, wow, they're getting nailed big time with storms. And looking at what we've got, looks pretty calm and foggy for the most part in Norway, Sweden, and Finland up there. And looking at Iceland, oh, this is not good. I hope poor Yvonne brought her raincoat, because it looks like she's going to get some rain. Even this stuff is going to kind of move up into here in the next day or so, and hopefully this will dissipate, or at least pull in a little bit tighter, and that would be better. Grimsey is where she should be going first then, I hope, but that's all right. And okay, that is kind of what our weather is looking like. We do have these other storms, so Earl is there, 95L in the middle here. Hopefully that's not going to build up too much, and that would be pretty nice. Let's see, Irish Monk. I watch the EA until I get the cast off. Uh-oh. Arr, it's like a one-legged pirate. Arr. Anyway, let's pop it back over to temperatures. We'll find our coldest temperature of the whoa, of the day. Minus 81, and I hardly even tried. And wow, that was fast. Minus 81 degrees, and Sue found minus 82. Darn it! Where's the 82? 81. I found it. 82. I had it. There it goes. Minus 82 degrees Celsius. There, I tied you. Yeah. And minus 82 degrees Celsius is so cold. If somebody wants to punch that in, minus 82 C is how much in Fahrenheit? That's got to be like 110 degrees below in Fahrenheit. Minus 110, minus 120, I have no idea. It's cold though, and it would be really, really cold. Anyway, that is just too darn cold. Bundle up, penguins. Yeah, no, I think after minus 80 degrees, you want to leave your penguins at home. They need to survive, you guys. They really do. So that's kind of what we've got there. Anyway, that is it for our wonderful show today, and that's all I've got. My voice is done, and it needs to rest. And I thank everyone for being here. You guys are awesome, and I really do enjoy doing these things. So hopefully my voice will be good enough until tomorrow. Get your penguin dancing to keep warm. Sharon Stewart says minus 115.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is the difference. And from 82 Celsius is minus 115 degrees. So a big cold difference. And yeah, burr. Fisherman's friend? No, I don't like fish. I'm kidding. It's okay. Anyway, on that friendly note, you guys, I'm going to throw it back onto our wonderful lava and let the show run to the end with that. So we will see what that happens. Thank you, Sharon Stewart. Thank you, Sue. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Big thank you to the moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, and the rest that might have been hiding off in the woods. And big thank you to our wonderful members, all the lavaliers, and everyone part of the lava family, of course. Really a big thank you for being here. Also, thanks for the super chats from Irish Monk and Irish Monk and Irish Monk and Irish Monk and Irish Monk. Thank you kindly, Irish Monk. You are a good man. And also see a few renewals here. And Kevin Haynes also gifted one membership. I didn't see who got that one. And great Foam 3 renewed, as well as Irish Monk. So cool. Really, I do appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And on that friendly note, got to remind everyone, tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow is when the stream starts 3 hours earlier. Right, Grandma B? Oh, I'd give you a hug if you were here, but it's all good. Anyway, hopefully that you guys remember tomorrow is Saturday, so we start a little earlier, and we'll all be good. And that'll make it easier for the good people of Europe. And on those friendly notes, take care, be good, be kind, and most of all, please tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Everyone have a wonderful night and see you all tomorrow. Take care. Oink, oink.